A leading medical expert has told Sky News that a simple procedure used to treat incontinence in women could become the worst medical scandal he's ever seen. More than 75,000 women in England have had vaginal mesh implants, but he claims that in some cases the products were not clinically trialled until years after they were fitted. And now a lawyer is warning that legal action over the operations could end up being bigger than thalidomide. Sky's Charlotte Lomas takes up the story.
Leslie used to be the girl you'd find dancing on tables, loving life and living it to the full. Now, after a 20-minute operation to help cure her mild incontinence, she's in chronic pain, she can't walk, she's lost her job and her marriage and is suicidal.
I'm not a woman that I used to be. I feel like a helpless no-hoper. I think I'd be better off dead if I'm like this. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to live like this. Honestly, I just don't want to live like this. I want my old life back. Come and sit, Grandma, please.
Like tens of thousands of women in the UK, Leslie has had a vaginal mesh implant. For many, the operation is quick and successful, but when it goes wrong, the effects can be catastrophic and leave permanent damage. Stress incontinence occurs as a result of weakened pelvic floor muscles and ligaments caused by childbirth and with age. The TVT mesh procedure is considered to be the least invasive surgical option, taking just 20 minutes. A mesh tape made out of plastic is passed through the vagina and placed around the urethra to form a sling. This is designed to be permanent and to support the bladder like a hammock. And this is what mesh looks like. It's supposed to be flexible, but when inside the body, can stiffen, erode and slice through organs like the bladder. There are a few manufacturers of mesh, and Professor Carl Hennigan, an expert in product safety, says problems were first identified 20 years ago and that clinical trials only start, on average, 5 years after the mesh is implanted.
There's a gap of 5 years where people are using some of these products, and the ones that are withdrawn or the ones that fail in them clinical trials, they're left with them because they're lifelong implants.
So they've had the operation done, but the trials haven't been done?
Correct.
On a scale of health scandals, for example, how do you place this? How significant?
I think this is the worst one that we'll ever see, hopefully, in my lifetime. Because I think the scale of the number of women that have been affected is huge, because what happened is there was a rapid rise that was unjustified in terms of what the evidence was showing, but somehow waves of surgeons adopted this. Waves of people were convinced that this is a minor procedure, can be done on a day case, and you'll be cured immediately. And I think at the end of the day, we'll look back and see this as a real disaster.
But we're still, even to this
Across the world, vaginal mesh is a subject of huge litigation in the US and Australia. Here in the UK, class action is being brought by 300 women against one manufacturer of mesh, Johnson & Johnson. Lawyers say it could become the biggest medical case in UK history.
Probably the most significant in terms of the number of people involved that I can think of, with the exception possibly of thalidomide, going back a long time. And in terms of the total potential compensation payments, well, that could run into billions of pounds, which would make it one of the largest medical cases in history.
This is the UK headquarters of Johnson & Johnson. In the 2 years that I've been covering the story of mesh implants, Johnson & Johnson have refused to discuss it with me on camera. Instead, they've sent me another written statement. And in it, they say that their subsidiary company, Ethicon, is confident in the positive impact of their mesh products on the vast majority of women. And in regards to the legal challenge, Ethicon says that the evidence will show that the company acted responsibly. This comes as we've learned that 55,000 women across the world are suing Johnson & Johnson because of their mesh products.
Yeah, let me see what you've got inside there.
For Leslie, no compensation will relieve the pain she suffers, for which she has to take a cocktail of opiate-level medication.
And you take them every day?
Yeah, because I'm really sick every day.
She says her life has been destroyed by a quick-fix operation that she didn't need. Charlotte Lomas, Sky News.